6v6 for COD 2020 and beyond. 6v6 will probably never be at the core of Call of Duty again. The how good the 6v6 game modes in MW 2019 Game of the Year Edition are have virtually no bearing on Activision's bottom line, which means it will continue to be neglected severely because as a company, and again, this is not their fault. This is what they are supposed to do. This is the free market. They're not going to spend a bunch of time, money, energy, and resources into a game mode that very few people are playing and or that they are making very little money off of in the first place. So imagine you, what's a good example? I don't know. Imagine you're the district manager of fucking Starbucks for this district and you run 20 stores in your district. I don't know if that number is appropriate, but let's call it that. And you have a budget from corporate for you need to do renovations, store improvements, promotions, hiring, etc. You are going to invest most of that budget in those stores that are making you the most money. So if Citrus in the 10 is the store that generates the most revenue per month, then when you have this budget to do improvements, to do hiring, etc., you're going to funnel most of that money to that store on Citrus in the 10. This is business. You're not going to take most of that budget and funnel it into the 20th least earning store in your district. You can use precisely the same analogy when it comes to 6v6. Now, 6v6 is the heart of Call of Duty in the past, but it will not be anymore because 6v6 is not what's getting them money. It is not what's getting them cash. It has almost no bearing on their bottom line, honestly. So even if you took Warzone out of the equation or a battle royale in general out of the equation, even Ground War was insanely popular in this game. And again, I would love to see analytics on this. I could be wrong. I suspect I'm not. But even if Warzone or a BR was not in the equation, it would still be something like Ground War that would be getting far more development resources than Sixes would, because I think way more people who play multiplayer are playing Ground War than they are playing Sixes. So to whatever degree that Activision will be supporting the multiplayer player base, even if they're going to support it at all, which they will a little bit, most of that fraction of support that they're going to get, multiplayer players, is going to be spent on these large scale fucking game modes like Ground War for COD 2020 and future Call of Duty titles. The people who play a game mode that no one is playing this year are not going to get love next year. So there are a lot of valid reasons that people don't play Sixes in this game. And it has nothing to do with the fact that they don't like Sixes per se. It's that they don't like Sixes in this game. Do I think Activision will be able to pick up on that nuance and figure it out? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They're going to look at the analytics. They're going to say people don't like Sixes anymore because they're not playing Sixes this year. They're going to ignore the fact that the reason no one's playing Sixes is because they ruined Sixes with the maps, with the mini map, with the sprint out time. And then they're just going to continue to neglect Sixes. And then next year in COD 2020, when Sixes are neglected even more, then for COD 2021, they're going to look at the analytics and say, wow, Sixes are so unpopular. People didn't play it that much in 2019, but they sure as fuck didn't play it in COD 2020. Looks like Sixes are out. They're not popular anymore. Let's give even fewer resources to Sixes for COD 2022. And then so on and so on. And they're going to ignore the fact that they are the precipitating cause for why no one plays Sixes anymore. So expect sixes to get no love. If you're one of the people who, I don't know, likes Call of Duty, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Because they've already shafted you this year. They've made sixes so bad that even though sixes is your favorite playlist, you'll no longer play it. And then they're going to compound that problem with COD 2020, and they're going to continue to compound it into the future. Tanner, how am I doing? What do you think?
I mostly agree with you. I think Treyarch, though, is going to put out a much better 6v6 game, only because we know their maps are traditional 3 lanes.
Well,
if they bring back the maps like Nuketown, Slums, we're all going to enjoy those.
Sure.
And most importantly, the mini-map will be back to normal. If it's not, then I'm going to be furious, but I would imagine the mini-map's going to be back to normal. The only thing is, as we've heard numerous times from insider sources, Warzone is going to be a game mode that continues past Modern Warfare. So it'll somehow either transition into Call of Duty 2020. I still don't understand how that would work. I don't think it would.
Either.
I think it would just be a totally separate standalone game. People are thinking it's going to go along with COD 2020. I don't really know how they would do that. I don't think Activision Infinity Ward is smart enough to figure that out. Maybe it feels like Epic Games they could, but this company, no.
Mm-hmm.
But I think sixes will be better in Call of Duty 2020, but if Warzone's still here, which, like you're saying, that's making them all the money, so it's going to still be here, then sixes is going to get neglected for sure.
Agreed.